This is episode 14 of the Throw the Flag podcast. We missed last week. We decided to take a bye week, I guess, with the Giants.
Yeah, you want to hear an interesting stat?
What's that?
Um, when you think of great defenses in years past, you think 85 Bears, you think 2000 Ravens, and you think the Legion of Boom, right? 2013 Seahawks.
Right.
The Philadelphia Eagles allowed 7 points in their 2 playoff games, which is the fewest amount since 2000 when the Baltimore Ravens.
Yep, that's why when I'm redoing this list, I definitely put the 2022 Eagles because that defense right there is just 70 sacks.
Like that, they're getting pressure naturally. Like it's just off the ball. No need to fucking do exotic blitz, and if you do, it's definitely getting home.
Shout out to Hassan Reddick.
Yeah, he's.
Thank you, Carolina, for not getting him back.
Yeah, because I remember when he was drafted by the Cardinals back in 2017.
Yeah, I think he was on Carolina. I don't know if we traded for him or just picked him up off free agency. I think it was free agency. But, man, I tell you, I looked at the highlights. I was like, yeah, I'm going to love this team. This is Micatron here. Fly, Eagles, fly.
And what's the first topic today, man?
I think since I mean I don't really have much on the Chiefs game. I heard it was pretty controversial towards the end or stuff like that, but you make penalties that get called.
Yeah, long story short, it's 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's a 3rd and 9. Chiefs have the ball about midfield on their own 40, I believe. They complete a play. It's a 5-yard gain pass. It's 4th and 4. Punt team comes out on the field to punt it. The referee, like the punt team's on the field, everything. The referee comes in from like the wide angle, like the farthest, like the back judge essentially, comes running in and says, "Hey, for whatever reason, between the 3rd down play and the 4th down play, the clock kept running. There was a clock issue. Like it was running when it wasn't supposed to, and this, that, and the other. So they just said, well, let's rerun 3rd down. So the Chiefs get another crack at 3rd down. Mind you, though, it was 4th and 4. The sticks were already changed. The punt routine was on the field. 3rd and 9. Chiefs run a play. It's like a 10-yard out. Mike Hilton gets called for a defensive hold, automatic 1st down Chiefs. So they went from literally being a 4th and 4 punt team. They get a retry on the 3rd down. So that down never existed. Like it existed, but it never shows up. Like when you go to Bleacher Report and you look at play-by-plays for the game, that play where they went to 4th and 4 never happened. It was just 2nd down, 3rd down penalty, 1st down, which is wild. Like that is the number one rule in the NFL, right? Why they try to get everything right is to avoid a play. That's why you can't challenge something after a play has happened, because you can't control that play. It's already happened. Like you can't do this. And so people are obviously like, well, it's in Kansas City. They're trying to fuck over the Chiefs or the Bengals rather. Now, did it affect the game? No, because on the at midfield, they went 3 and out from there and punted it, and the Bengals got the ball. So it's not now. If they would have gone down and kicked a field goal or scored a touchdown, okay, yeah, definitely, like unforgivable. But like it didn't really affect the game. Like maybe an extra 5 yards and field position, which obviously is important, but not a game changer.
Yeah, because they still had every opportunity to go down there and stop them or whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, there were still 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter, tie ball game. They didn't get any points on the possession, so it's not that big of a deal. It was frustrating to watch because, like, I've watched plenty of football. We've all watched plenty of football. They never go back. Like, it's 4th and 4. Oh, sorry, actually, we're gonna replay that down. It's third and 9, when there was no penalty on the field. Like, wasn't like replay the down. It was just like, yep, we're gonna do 3rd and 9 again. And then the late hit. We gotta talk about the late hit on Patrick Mahomes. Definitely a penalty. Like, definitely a penalty. Would it have been a penalty 20 years ago? Probably not.
Probably not.
But you want to talk about a penalty affecting a game? That was a 15-yard penalty, and instead of it being a 60-yarder to win the game, it's now a 45-yarder. That 45-yarder was probably good at like 53, would probably be the max. So there's no way. Now the Chiefs still probably like 20 seconds to kind of get some more yards, but when it's just gifted to you, or it's, the team does a mental error to give them 15 yards without having to work for it, it just makes it that much worse. But definitely should have been called. Like, I'm a big proponent of whatever. Like, it's football. You're gonna get hit, but Patrick was definitely out of bounds. Like 2 feet, running out of bounds. Like, it wasn't like it was at the white when it gets out of bounds and you hit him.
He was already out of bounds, if I'm not mistaken, or close to it.
Yeah, he was out. Like, he was out. Like, and I sympathize with Aussie, the linebacker, because that's a 260-pound man running 19 miles an hour. Like, and he got hurt. Like, he hyperextended his knee and like twisted his ankle on the tackle or on the push. So had to be called. Just tough. I mean, it essentially put him in field goal range, and that's the game.
But at the end of the day, that comes down to what you told me early on in the season. Don't do illegal shit.
Yep. Yeah. Don't. I like what Pat McAfee says. You have to play better than the ref's coach, or than the ref's ref, right? Just play better than the refs in the game.
Well, I mean, if there's any time in the NFL to be disciplined, it's definitely on a clutch drive in the playoffs. I mean,
yeah,
you just that's something that you should already know. Just be disciplined. Shoot,
Like, they want to talk about the ref stuff. That's what that's what pretty much gave the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nonetheless, I'm glad they won.
It's still a good game overall, though.
Yeah,
Man.
I mean,
Travis Kelce post game.
yeah, Jabroni.
I loved it.
But see, I kind of wanted the Bengals to lose too, because I mean, yeah, it's rival, but Eli Apple talks so much junk to not really be doing nothing.
Yeah, he's not that. He's like the worst corner on their team. He's the weak spot.
And his mouth, man, like Cancun on 3. Like, if I was there, Mahomes or something, man, or the Bengals all week long, man, they were talking like Burrowhead, all that other stuff. They were talking like they already won that game. Like, Jesus.
Yeah. It was, so I mean, I think the Bengals talk their shit. This is the time to talk shit, though. They're 3-0.
Yeah, I guess so.
Going into this game, you're 3-0. If there's ever a time to talk shit, it's not like, obviously they've been all 4 games have been decided by 3 points. But so obviously there's a mutual respect there. But like when you beat them 3 times to nothing, especially one to go to a Super Bowl, that's legitimately like, don't talk shit now, talk shit beforehand. So.
And on top of that, I mean, people can say they did that to Mahomes.
Yeah, and trust me, like, it definitely fueled the fire. Don't give them a reason to feel like an underdog, especially at home when they're favored. So the Super Bowl, my theory, that there's nobody on offensive line or defensive line that can block that defense. The Eagles are going to win by 21. Like, I don't even think it's going to be close.
I think it'll be close because of Mahomes. But if Mahomes gets on his, like, if he gets hit, it might start getting bad. That line's got to step up.
Yeah, I think if Patrick Mahomes has a superhuman game and he's doing his normal Mahomes magic, they lose by 10. But if he plays like he did, which he did, he played good. He meant to play when he needed to plays, and he threw for 300 yards in a playoff game on a bum ankle. Cool, but he wasn't doing his, you know, traditional Mahomes magic. Like he had it, but it was a short supply. Like he had to really, he only had like 2 shots at it the whole game, each half or so.
And this was also a very mid DB group with the Bengals. So I mean,
yeah. I don't.
He'll be tested. He'll be tested next week.
I don't like if I were to run the simulation 1,000 times in my brain. I don't see how. Let's just break it down. Offensive line. I'm taking the Eagles. Defensive line. It's closer than I would say the offensive line, but I would still take the Eagles because Frank Clark is nothing to sneeze at. Neither is Chris Jones, but. Give me Fletcher Cox and Hassan Reddick and Brendan Graham and
Lane Johnson blocked the Defensive Player of the Year on a torn groin. I mean, he allowed 0 QB hits.
If we're looking at corners, I'm going to take Darius Slay and CJ DJ.
Bradbury.
Safeties, I would probably say the Chiefs. Justin Reed's a good safety. I think you guys have had some injuries at safety throughout the year.
Which everybody's fully healthy right now. CJ Gardner-Johnson is the safety.
Linebackers, I don't know, probably a wash, I have to say. Nothing chipping out at me on either side of the ball there.
TJ Edwards is nothing to sleep on, man.
I'm sure someone could say the same thing with the Chiefs, but running back,
I give it to Pacheco.
No, you have the best running back in the league, though. You have Gainwell.
Hey, in the postseason, he has shown up, though. He has shown up, and I'm like, wow. If
you can hypnotize Boston Scott to tell them that he's playing against the New York Giants, he might have 4 touchdowns.
Right. But I mean, Gainwell is just that dude's fast, and he has stepped up tremendously this offseason, like postseason.
Now. When I was watching the Eagles game this past weekend, it was brought to my attention that Miles Sanders is a Pro Bowl running back.
Yes.
There's no way he's a Pro Bowl running back.
1,000-yard running back. Why not?
No.
He's improved tremendously this year.
Most definitely, but I would still take Josh Jacobs.
He didn't make it?
I assume you get 2 running backs, so let's see if let's see.
But ain't that AFC though?
Yeah, he's AFC. Yeah, AFC.
So I mean,
it was Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb. Oh, I'm sorry. I NFC. Sorry, you said it. I'm on my bullshit again. Dalvin Cook made it. So he must have made it as an alternate then.
Which could be the case. I think Jalen and our linemen, and maybe I think AJ Brown made it as a starter.
Yeah. So actually, no, he made it as a starter.
Okay.
They had 3 running backs: Saquon, Tony Pollard, Miles Sanders, Dalvin Cook, and Christian McCaffrey made it as replacements. Yeah, I mean, if I have to choose between Miles Sanders and Christian McCaffrey, I hate to break it to you, I'm taking CMC.
Obviously, but I mean,
if I had to take Miles Sanders or Dalvin Cook, that's a little bit closer, but I'd probably still take Dalvin Cook.
I'm saying you don't win 14 games and not have that type, like your stars in there. I mean,
it comes with success. I get it.
I'm waiting to see what he does next year if we sign him back, because I mean he stepped up a lot this year, so I mean he's definitely improving.
I would say the running back room is a wash, because I mean, as Jerick McKinnon catching balls out of the backfield is dangerous. Pacheco, man, there were some runs that he did on Sunday where he would get to the edge and somehow run through people and by them at the same time. It made no sense.
All about that.
Like they would, like legitimately made no sense. Like running through and by somebody. Like you do one or the other. This
I know all
this
about
man was
that.
doing
Man.
But I mean, ours is a whole
Like,
lot
you
more
know-
dangerous when you got Jalen Hurts as a threat to also run the ball.
True, but I'm just taking it as a position group.
Oh yeah.
I would say it's a draw. Quarterback.
Obviously, obviously, Patrick Mahomes got that. I'll take Pat Mahomes.
I would take Jalen Hurts.
You would take Jalen? All right.
Because
Ethan,
Patrick
are you
Mahomes,
listening? Where are you at, Ethan? Hold up.
Only because Patrick Mahomes is not 100% healthy.
Neither is Jalen.
Yeah, but I watched every throw he had. Jalen Hurts didn't look like his shoulder was bothering him at all.
But I
And
mean,
plus what he brings in the running game.
Patrick Mahomes with an ankle injury, which is like, I mean, he takes that like crazy and just comes back in against the Jags and just goes crazy. Jalen with a shoulder injury where there was some overthrown balls. Like he had AJ Brown on one
Yeah,
touchdown
I know exactly
and
like,
overthrew
like
the mess
was,
out of it. I'm like,
it
dude.
it was like 5 yards in front of him. I know exactly what he was running a vertical on the right side of the field, going right to left.
But okay, so I ain't gonna lie.
A draw.
The Eagles versus 49ers though, it looked like a walk in the park in the first half, but it was not. that game was very like it.
Well, because they have a lot of talent and they have a lot of good scheme too. Like you can only go if the defense doesn't have the threat of a forward pass, like they did in the second half of that game, then yeah, I mean it's just gonna be. That's it. Imagine if you were playing Madden, and you were on defense, and you knew, hey, look, the quarterback has a torn elbow. Like the tendon in his elbow is completely torn. There's no threat of a forward pass. You probably would be able to shut down that run game pretty easily, right? The screen game, all that. Just
There's no
play
shutting
cover
no
one
run game
buzz.
down in Madden. No. Man, do you play Mud?
No.
Oh man.
Hold on. If I told you there was a dude in Mutt nicknamed the Quad Father, who would you think it was?
I would think it would be AJ Dillon.
It is, and this guy is unstoppable, Brian. We play Mutt squads, and when I tell you, you can't tackle him. You have a better. I don't even. You have a better chance of hitting the quarterback and not getting a roughing the passer call in the NFL than you tackling him.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, dude. It doesn't matter if you stack the line, I put on the line of scrimmage. It does not matter.
You have a better chance of being Joe Mixon's girlfriend and not getting a gun pointed at you than tackling AJ Dillon is what I'm hearing.
You have a better chance
Sounds
of
about right.
Dak Prescott not choking in the playoffs. Okay.
You have a better chance
of Dak Prescott winning the Super Bowl.
you have a better chance of getting in an elevator with Ray Rice and not being knocked the fuck out on the way up.
I swear to God.
I'm glad we're all on the same page here, but yes, that's your chances.
You have a better chance of Edgerluck coming back to play football than tackling him.
Man, you got a better chance of Brett Favre coming back.
You got a better chance of the 49ers only going through one quarterback all year.
Whoa, no, that's actually impossible.
No, but I mean, it's my thing with the injuries on that game is Brock Purdy and Josh Johnson went down because of the Eagles' defense, not because they were sick or something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't give them no argument there. Obviously, you want to have a good game with everybody healthy, but I mean, we took them out.
Yeah, there's that. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't see a path where the Chiefs win. Like legitimately.
I just hope you're right. I'm not talking junk to the team because I didn't talk junk all year. I talked junk for 3 games, Brian, and the 3 games I talked trash, we lost. I'm good on talking trash.
Now the positive, if the Chiefs win, is as a Colts fan, I can say we beat that team. We beat the Super Bowl champ. I don't know. You tell me.
Man, ain't no wrong with that.
Cool.
As a Colts fan, you gotta take what you can get.
Hey, look, when you're staring down the barrel of the draft, you take all the things you can get.
That way, when you're drafting players, you could be like, "Hey, we beat the Super Bowl champs. What's up? You want to
Yeah.
come to? You want to come? You want to come to Indianapolis?"
Man, what about the Devontae Smith catch, Brian?
So, one, I think it's smart that Nick Sirianni and the coaching staff have a signal, a nonverbal signal that says, "Hey, we need that play was questionable. Let's huddle up and run a play." Like it's already ingrained, it's coached into them. That's smart, right? Because they did it in such a quick fashion that no time for the review, no time for a challenge to be thrown. I still think he caught it, but whatever. I mean, that's just me.
It hit the ground. It got punched out at the end, but I thought he caught it. He snagged it. Okay, that type of the pass that he caught it would have bounced off my hands. I mean, he still snagged it.
Yeah, he climbed the ladder.
Devontae Smith had great awareness. he got there quick. But my thing is, Jason. I was watching the Kelsey podcast. Jason Kelsey had said they actually didn't show any other angles on the Jumbotron to the 49ers. They kept every angle off the screen.
Yep. But I'm smart. That's that's a team effort right there.
Right. And then, the Eagles actually run a lot of no huddle anyway, so the hurry up thing could have just been like, come on, let's get back to the line and go again. Like, I mean, they run a lot of no huddle. So, I mean, it helped there. But
yeah, also with that, too, though, like, Shanahan had every opportunity to throw the challenge, too. So it also falls back on the 49ers.
Also, their linebacker looked right at Devontae while he was going down with the ball. He's seen that. He could have told, hey, we need to challenge this, like, now. I'm grateful for it, though. Because, I mean, man. Then,
I mean, you still win that game, but, yeah.
But I say, even with Purdy in there, it would have been a tougher game, I think. But they were just getting to him, man. Like, I don't think it would have mattered. They were Hassan Reddick, and you block him with a tight end, you're asking for 31 points on you.
That was, and like the tight end was late too. It wasn't even his like sole responsibility. He was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna chip and release."
And I don't think it was George Kittle at all, the whole game.
Yeah, you shouldn't chip and release with him. Okay.
I mean,
I don't know if you
don't
know
get me
this.
wrong. Y'all have the league leader in sacks on your team, but there's a guy called Hassan Reddick. Only one sack behind him. I mean, y'all got to block him too. And I love the fact that literally, like I said earlier, Lane Johnson is playing on. He re-torn his groin against the Giants and was still able to hold Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't even know if they took the biggest loss last week. I really think Joey Bosa took probably the biggest one. He took a big error. He let Philly get to him.
Yeah, you can't let Philly get to you. I mean, that. You know how much money I make?
I mean, when you got the police officers greasing poles so they can't climb on them and can still climb on the poles, don't mess with those guys. Just don't mess with them.
Just leave them be. All right.
And on top of that, you can't go put a 49ers shirt on the Rocky statue. That's the number one thing that killed him right there.
I think that was an inside job. I think if I'm a Philadelphia fan in Philadelphia, I'm doing that. So it becomes a rally cry for the team. I don't think a 49er fan did that. I think that was an inside job right there. And it worked.
Yeah, that's what Travis Kelce said. He was like, I better not see any Travis Kelce jersey on that Rocky statue this week. They're probably going to do it. They're probably going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
What about the Pro Bowl? Like, do you know any information on that? Like, I mean, I know it's flag football.
Yeah, they're doing flag football right. So the next 3 days, today, tomorrow, and Saturday, they're doing skills challenges. So like today, I saw some highlights for dodgeball. I saw Saquon Barkley getting absolutely just egged right in the face. But yeah, they're bringing back the skills challenge. I don't know if you've ever been up late at night and like scrolled past NFL Network when they have like the 2003 skills challenge on or something like that. It's pretty cool to watch because like back then they did accuracy challenges where they had golf carts driving with targets on them, and the quarterbacks had to hit them. Then they were like different. And then they had the long throw contest, so you could throw the farthest. And like it was pretty cool watching, Tom Brady, and it was just some wild ass names out there. Like it was Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, then it was like Rich Gannon. It was like, just some Ben Roethlisberger in his rookie year or something like that. So they're trying to bring something like that back. I don't know.
I think I seen where they said Snoop Dogg said he'll come out there and catch a pass from a quarterback. Like I don't understand this. Like, are they doing shoulder pads and stuff like that too? Like, or just no shoulder pads whatsoever? Just show your skills.
For the actual football game, or
yeah,
I think they're still gonna have pads on with flags. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. It's the first time they've done that. I do know that the coaches are Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, so that in itself should provide some commentary and some good sibling rivalry. But yeah, I think it's Pat McAfee of all people is calling the game, and he'll have like a headset with Snoop Dogg and Kurt Herbstreit and it was like one other person. Oh yeah, he'll be able to talk to Eli and Peyton Manning as well, which will be some good internet, I'm sure. But no Eagles players, no Chiefs players.
That's just what I love.
How did Tyler Huntley become a Pro Bowl quarterback?
I don't know.
Because
he had 2 touchdowns and 3 picks.
Was Lamar even voted in?
And if he did, he'd break his knee or something.
I mean, I wouldn't think they'd be allowed to run the quarterbacks anyways. Like I feel like I know last year they did a flag football.
7-on-7. It's 7-on-7. So
yeah,
there's no offensive lineman, so it's probably like a 5 Mississippi or something like that.
Last year they did the flag football game before the Pro Bowl, and it was like 2 YouTube groups. I mean, it looked fun. It looked interesting. They had Michael Vick out there throwing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't know. The problem is just there's no effort. So
right, I still might watch just a little bit of it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like I'll drop by. It is football, so I will drop by.
Yeah. I wanted to update everybody on the wild card predictions. I didn't really count Juan's because I don't think he did too many of them, but I actually picked every team right.
Okay.
That's a solid 12 for 12 right there. You were only off by 2.
Okay.
Wild card week, you had 5 out of 6. Divisional round, you got all of them, and then the last one, you missed one of them.
Yeah.
So that.
I think because I chose the Bengals. I was like, what? Oh yeah, I did choose the Bengals.
I think to keep it hot, I'm just to make sure. I think I picked the Eagles this week. Well, next week. Just to,
you guys stay perfect,
keep it going.
But then again, Mikey though, if you do get this one right, that would be an unlucky 13.
Right. I just like you said. I mean, I like to account for Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, but at the same time, Nick Foles also beat Tom Brady and Gronk. So I mean,
yeah, who's going to stop? Who's going to stop the run game for the Chiefs? Like on Chiefs defense, who's going to stop the Philadelphia Eagles run offense? Nobody.
We just went against the best run defense in the league. I mean,
and you ran it down their throat.
I thought that was a bold choice. I was like, so
every time I looked over, I'm like, oh, Boston Scott's in. Oh, Gainwell's in. Oh,
Sanders is getting yards.
Hurts is getting yards. All right.
Pitch one back to Quez, see what he does.
Yeah. So, as long as y'all don't trot out, AJ Brown at center, you should be all right.
Right. I still want to see Jordan Mailata pick up a football like on a fumble and go rugby, like full rugby on him.
Yeah. I want to see what that Cowboys play would have been if it had a chance of, they, how much you have to practice something to use at the end of a playoff game when you need it. Like you have to practice that thing all year. Like they're installing that day one of training camp, mini camp, OTAs, and it was bad.
Once I seen Zeke in, I was like, yeah, this game's over. He snapped the ball. I was like, yeah, game over. Dude just got hammered on the freaking snap. I mean, he was like, it was no time before he was in the backfield. Just put your center in. You'd have been better off.
Yeah. Like I get it. Like when you look at the play design, it would have worked because that was Tupin, like their all-pro fucking kick returner. You get him, and then they had T.Y. Hilton and a bunch of offensive linemen. So if old boy gets caught up, he can pitch it to T.Y. Hilton. He's got Zeke trailing behind in case something bad happens. Like, but you also have to understand, if you're the 49ers, just tackle him. And that's it. Like, man played. The way he broke on that ball was just so hilarious to watch. Dak stinks.
He sucks.
Okay, well, I'm glad we're on the same page here.
I've been saying this all season.
Like, remember the exercise we did about 4, 5, 6 weeks ago about where he's like number 16 in the league.
Yeah, I would take way more now.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. His consistency is, and it doesn't have like I said earlier, like he does nothing great. He does everything good. Some things average, some things good, but nothing great. There's nothing like, say what you want about Dougie Mills down in Houston. At least he throws a good deep ball, or he has some redeeming quality, or like Brock Purdy's got a quick release. Okay, that's good. It's a great release. All right, cool. Even these Daniel Jones, hey, he'll run you over. He'll run by you, and he's got a good deep ball. So, like, I would take Daniel Jones over Dak.
Yeah, but Brock Purdy's in a little situation now.
Yeah, Trey Lance is going to start. And if you're the 49ers, this is actually good. Because now you don't have to worry about this conversation over the offseason about, well, who's the quarterback going forward. This thing is going to be, like, it's Tommy John surgery. Like, this is what baseball pitchers get when, they really tear up their elbow. Yeah. So this is going to take a long time for him to start actually throwing a football and, like, being... So this gives all the time for Trey Lance, who's healthy from his broken ankle or whatever, to do this and kind of establish himself. Now, if he didn't hurt himself and they just lost the game, then you have to ask yourself, hey, we got a real quarterback controversy here. But, like, it gives time for Trey Lance to show why they traded up and drafted him third overall in OTAs and training camp. So it actually made it a little bit easier on the 49ers. Sucks for Brock Purdy. I mean, dude was balling.
Yeah.
Take him down to Indy.
That it looked painful, just watching his arm just come back and try to throw it back forward. Like, it looked painful. And then, like, you could tell he couldn't throw because obviously they came back second half and just he was handing the ball off every play. I mean, that was tough. I mean, I was happy obviously, but I mean, obviously I did want to see what both teams were going to do full health because they didn't really test our defense too much.
Yeah.
Other than McCaffrey hurdling one dude, juking another guy, and then taking a big hit from two guys. I mean, other than that, that's normal McCaffrey there, but
yeah.
Oh, did you see Jason Kelsey's dance in the end zone?
Mm-hmm.
I was dying.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, that they said it should be like at least a year out with that surgery. Is Brock Purdy surgery. At least a year.
Yeah, I mean that's like an 18-month surgery for like baseball pitchers. Like, you're not just gonna, inch on your throwing arm, nonetheless. Like, oof.
And then Josh Johnson comes in, and the offensive line, Trent Williams. All you have to do is just keep this guy healthy for one game. That's it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope. I mean, the dude came in, took a snap, and dropped it right there. Like,
Yeah.
how do you? What is y'all's game plan for these quarterbacks? Do you let one quarterback practice all week and just let the other guy watch film or something? I mean,
He traded that thing like a hot potato.
the most fight I seen out of them last week was when Trent Williams slammed Kayvon. What's his name? Kayvon Wallace down.
He that is the last person on earth I want to grab me. A 6'8", 330-pound pissed off Trent Williams. That is the last person I want to grab me by my collar and yank me without me knowing. That is the absolute last person on earth. I would rather have Dwayne Robinson, who pick anybody, the Big Show. I don't care. Like, the great Kyle Lee coming up behind me and doing that shit than a pissed off Trent. Like, no. Because that man knows how to use leverage, too.
Yeah. I mean, he just got fed up. Just pulled the first person he seen, like, you know what? Come here. Boom. And then, like, Kayvon Wallace he's not big. He's small. Like,
Yeah.
and then, cause we seen the punch Richard Sherman. I mean, that's first sign right there. Like, don't mess with him.
Yeah. And Richard Sherman is known to be a little crazy, too. So,
The best corner in the game.
yeah, you're going to try me with the sorry
Don't put a
receiver
sorry in the
like
crease like Crabtree.
I remember watching that live. That was hilarious to watch live. You gotta try me. I remember just sitting there going, "What did I just watch?"
It was even funnier to me when they passed the ball in the end zone and it got picked off.
Yeah.
It cut to him just crying like instantly. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Yes. Just hand it off to Marshawn. Tom Brady would have 6 Super Bowls.
I can understand if it was fourth down and the run just didn't work the whole time, but you didn't give it a chance in the end zone.
Yeah, Tom Brady would have
Had,
5
like,
Super Bowls.
2 timeouts?
Out of 4 downs, I promise you, Marshawn Lynch is going to get 5 yards at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I was on deployment, and we were arguing this. No, Marshawn Lynch would not have got. He wouldn't have got it. He wouldn't have got it. He wouldn't have gotten it. And I found an article, and it pretty much laid out that over the course of his 5 years in Seattle, and these goal-to-goal situations, when it was like with 1 or 2 yards or less or something like that, that he had a success rate of like 91%. I was like, so that's on 1 attempt, let alone 2 attempts, 3 attempts, 4th attempts. Like, he would have got it. Who are we kidding? It's better than throwing it. I know that. Like, good old Malcolm Butler, definitely, like, a pioneer. Definitely, made a whole career out of it. But
It's not like you.
But he did his homework. He knew the tell. He knew that audible meant they were going to do a quick slant inside. But and he made a great instinct play on the ball. But just eliminate that and run the ball. Halfback ISO. Keep it moving.
And they still had like what 2 timeouts. I mean, they had every opportunity.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't working, then you try to do a pass in the goal line.
Like the thing I don't understand is, like, Pete Carroll was like a defensive coach nonetheless. He's like, I didn't want to give too much time and give too much time to Tom Brady. Valid, but you also have the Legion of Boom. Like, I would trust that. Just score the points. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Just get the points, and trust your defense with Cam Chancellor and Richard Sherman and all the boys.
Earl Thomas, Byron was it Byron Maxwell?
Yeah.
But at the same time,
allow that and Bobby Wagner and all the boys to close this game out.
At the same time, not wanting to give Tom Brady the ball back fast is a lousy excuse because the pass was in the end zone.
Yeah.
A run would have potentially got stopped one time and then the clock ran out a bit more. But you pass it into the end zone. You're trying to give the ball back to Tom Brady at that point. But I mean, it's not like they had the best receivers, I don't think, either, because they got out lucky with the dude catching the bounce pass anyways. The ball bounced like 3 times. I'm like, Why are you gonna pass it now in the end zone with Russell Wilson?
That was Dwayne Curse there.
Russell Wilson has a bad history of throwing picks in the.
That he does.
I would take my chances all day with Marshawn Lynch. I would run every down.
I'll die on that hill.
If now Marshawn Lynch don't get a touchdown, whatever. I had a better chance of that than Russell Wilson throwing a touchdown on the 2-yard line. God, or run it yourself. I mean, you're Russell Wilson. You're a little quick.
Yeah, run some triple option, something.
You could have drilled something better than a little slant. So obviously we're not gonna have much to talk about after this week. It'll just be like one game. I don't know if y'all are down. I know I asked a couple weeks ago, but looking into college players or something, like I don't really know. Like I'm trying to get like a list of like college prospects, like for the draft and stuff, and try to go over them a little bit, get their weak like strong points, weak points, all that. We can even do a little mock draft if y'all want. It don't matter.
Sounds good to me. I'll attempt.
I got like 3 players so far. I'm looking into.
I'm somewhat
free agent landing spot.
Curious. Yeah.
Where y'all think Tom Brady's gonna unretire and come to next?
I'll give him about another.
Y'all think
I hope Miami.
Another month or so. Yeah.
I'm trying to. There was a couple quarterbacks I was looking at. I can't even find where I was doing this at. I'm trying to get a couple players like actually like thought of before I actually go and mess with it. I can't even find it. I know it was that the dude from the Gators, Florida Gators. I know him.
AR-15.
The quarterback.
Yeah, AR-15.
I like him. I told Juan the Eagles apart. Like what we'll do is we'll win the Super Bowl here, and we'll trade them back our first round pick again, so they can get a little Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that's how we got Lamar in the first place.
I can't even find it. I'll redo it. It's fine. But there's obviously what's his name, Bryce Young. There's a couple guys. We'll figure it out. I don't know how many I want to do. Should we just like a 1 round worth? Get like 32 picks and do 1 round. All right. I say.
And what? There's no way you can keep my attention longer than the first round.
All right. Well, we'll do like a couple players here and there, and then there's another. I want to possibly do 2 days out the week, but not college players for both days. Like I might come up here by myself and start looking into like each team's history. Just to, I can learn more, and I can stream. Like I can do a podcast on that too, and I'll learn more about the history of other teams too. That way I can't be called dumb on TikTok.
Yeah.
That was brutal. I haven't had a TikTok post in a while. I don't like being called dumb. I'm sorry I didn't know your grandfather played for the Dolphins in the freaking 60s. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Whoops. Maybe he should have been better.
Maybe he should have been alive.
I bet you didn't even know the history of your team until you looked up what I posted.
What'd you post?
I'm talking about like if I post something like about a quarterback, like let's say because I put Matt Ryan for the Falcons, but no, that was not the right choice. I should have put Vic or somebody like that, like older quarterback. I'm like, you probably even know the quarterback for Matt Ryan until you just seen me put Matt Ryan here. You probably went and go look it up yourself. Matt Ryan is definitely more deserving than Michael Vick on that roster right now. I'm sorry. Just because he had a career with him, man.
Yeah, but think. I mean, before all the dog stuff, like 5 years run with. I mean, neither won a Super Bowl, so like there's something. I mean, Matt Ryan did win an MVP, so there is that.
But that's Vic's fault, though. I mean.
Yeah, but I could see the argument for both sides. Michael Vick at his peak was a better player than Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
His ceiling was higher. So
The ceiling, yeah. I mean, but we can't always go off the ceiling. I did do it for Josh Gordon, though. I didn't. I mean, they wanted me to put Kyle Pitts up there too, but I'm like, dude, this guy has had 2 years in the NFL.
He's got like 2 touchdowns.
So, what I'm doing for my new list, though, you got to at least play 2 years with that team to be considered, you know what I'm saying, up there to represent that team. And I'm not duplicating players. I'm not.
So you could do Antonio Brown with the Buccaneers. Got it.
I could.
Technically, you wouldn't because you would be a Steeler, but
I gotta find everything I was doing because I lost it all.
all right, gentlemen, I got an early morning, so I'm gonna go ahead and head out of here.
Oh, yeah. All right, man. Good podcast.
Thanks for having me. Go fly, Eagles fly.
I wanted to get
Okay.
Ethan in here to get his reaction, but obviously he's asleep probably.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back to my Star Wars.
All right, man. Follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, everything. It'll be posted in the comments.
Throw the flag, baby.
Oh yeah.